guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So good to see you guys again. Just following up from that video that we did last week, I wanted us to talk about how far we are conforming, if I can put it that way, to the world in order to reach the world. What do I mean? I've seen many times where I've been in churches that many times, in order to reach the people in the world, we do things that are of the world. For example, we will take very worldly songs that might be trending and popular at the moment and mask it with our own Christian music as a means to draw in the people. So I really wanted to know, and I really want us to discuss how far is too far in reaching the world, because I believe we should have our limits as children of God. We should have our limits as disciples. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand we should also become all things for all men, but I also believe there's a limit and a wisdom attached to how we do that, because I often see the whole point is, okay, let's attract the unbelievers, let's attract the worldly people with their music, but we cover it with our gospel music. And for me, that doesn't make sense, because yes, we want to bring people into the world, but if somebody is coming to Christ, not recognizing that there's a cost to discipleship, there's a cost to following Christ, they will not stay in Christ, because they are coming with the mind of, oh, I can still listen to those musics as I would like to. I can still do the things that I was doing before, because coming to Christ, I was not made aware that there is a cost to discipleship. Jesus himself said it, that if any of you wants to follow me, he should take up his cross daily. He should deny himself. He made it clear to us that there's a cost to discipleship. And I think we are putting ourselves in a very dangerous position where we are bringing people into the church, and yes, people are getting saved, people are raising hands, people are coming to the altars, people are saying, look, I want this Jesus, but they are not made aware that the Jesus that, yes, delivers them, the Jesus that justifies them, that saves them, is also the Jesus that cleanses them. He's also the Jesus that has a standard and expects something from them. And, I see this and it bothers me, because this is what creates, if I can call them, false converts. People who come and they believe that, no, I've accepted Jesus, but my life doesn't really have to change as much. Reason being, I was not made aware when I came to the church, when I came to salvation, whoever led me to it or whichever church brought me into salvation didn't seem very much different from the world. I mean, we were playing our worldly songs, yes, with gospel lyrics. Some people were dressing like they were out in the world, but I mean, we were in church. Some people still swore, but I mean, they said it's just an expression. And the Bible gives us such clear guidelines on these things, the costs that are expected, what's expected of us in following him, so much so that we should not take it lightly, bringing people into Christ and projecting a message of just grace, grace, grace. Yes, there is grace, and that is what saves us, for it is by grace that we have been saved through faith. It's not by our works. That is completely true. But at the same time, our faith without works is dead. So our faith should show in the things that we do. It should show in the transformation of our lives. It should show in the things that we are doing, in the life that we are portraying, in the Christ life that we are bringing forth. And I just really believe that if we go back to this drawing board as a church of getting people to understand who Jesus is, what he did, and what he expects from us. So I think we need to go back to the drawing board of teaching people what it means to follow Jesus, showing people what the cost of discipleship is. I mean, Jesus himself taught the people in John chapter 6. He was telling them about how he is the bread of life. And as he was giving those hard teachings, it says that many of them turned back and they were saying that, look, this is a hard teaching. We can't take this. Because they realized that this is what the cost of following Christ is. And Jesus even turned to his disciples, the people who were following him, and he asked them and he said, hey, what about you guys? Do you guys also want to go? Because that's what he's doing. He doesn't want people who will follow, but they are not willing to pay up. They are not willing to count the cost. The same thing, I think it's in the book of Luke, that says that which of you will not count the cost before building a tower? Before you build anything, you want to count, to say, I'll need this amount for foundation, this amount for material, this amount for labor. Otherwise, if you don't count the cost, you will leave the project halfway, and neighbors, people will look around and they will laugh, they will mock you because you did not finish what you started. And that's exactly how it is with Christ. If we don't count the cost before we go into the journey with him, or if people do not count the cost before stepping into the journey with Christ, they end up leaving him halfway. And those of us who led them to Christ might even be shocked, say, but what happened? Why did you leave the faith? Why did you drop out? Not realizing that the cost of following Christ was not counted, and maybe not even fully accepted if it was counted. So this video is just to bring us back to that, to say, let's make people aware, even as we go out in projecting our hand, in bringing forth the grace of Christ, in bringing forth the hand that really is what saves us, the mercies of God, the grace of God that saves us. Let's not also forget to stretch out the hand of the cost of following Christ, that it's not something that will come simply by grace. I think even Paul says it, that, since we are saved by grace, should we continue in sin so that grace may abound? And he says, no, we can't do that. So when we know that we have been saved by grace, we should also extend the hand that shows that there is a cost to following Jesus. There's something that we ourselves need to do in following Christ. There's an expectation upon our lives. And this is just following up from last week's video on conviction versus teaching. That even with our convictions and our teachings and the teaching that we are receiving, there is a lot of cost that needs to be counted. So let's just give our lives wholly to Christ. Let's count the cost of following him, that we may build our towers and finish them, complete them, and not be found like those uncompleted buildings. I'm sure we know them, those uncompleted buildings in our towns, in our villages, wherever. Just let's count the cost, that we would finish the race and finish it well. I hope this video blesses you, and that you will count the cost in this journey. And as you lead others to Christ, let them know as well to count the cost of following Jesus. I'll see you guys in the next video. Please do make sure that you like and you subscribe. I'm not sure if we've hit 100 subscribers already or if we are still going, but thank you so much, guys. That's a very big number. 100 is a very big number. If we've hit it, thank you so much. Please make sure that you continue to share and you continue to subscribe and share the video with others, and like as well, because all these actions that you do help to promote the video, that others might be able to reach it as well. Okay, see you guys next time.